Right now, Clementine is somebody's property. Somebody owns my daughter. And the experiments that they could be doing on her are disgusting. At Pittsburgh University, they do something called xenotransplantation. You can see here, they've actually taken the organs of children and transplanted them inside of or on animals, called xenotransplantation. Pittsburgh University, they've taken the scalps of born alive children, viable scalps, and they stitch them on the backs of rodents where the baby's hair continues to grow. I know for a fact that my daughter is in heaven. There's no question about it. But here on earth, it becomes more of a philosophical conversation. If my daughter's heart is beating inside of a pig, is my daughter not alive? If my daughter's hair is growing on the back of a rodent, is my daughter not alive? In the state of New Jersey, we allow abortion up until 9 months. 9 months. My daughter was 5 months. This is the top of her head. This is her leg. This is the last picture I have of my baby. What they did to her, what they did to her mother, is wrong. They took advantage of the mother of my child. She was not in the right mental state. She was in mental distress. She was under the influence, which is marked on the medical documents. You cannot consent to something if you are under the influence of marijuana. You cannot consent to something if they don't tell you what they're doing. On the first day, they changed abortion procedure. They skipped inducing fetal demise, which is on the medical document. Fetal cardiac activity, yes. My daughter was alive. They told her mother nothing. They didn't tell her that they were going to change abortion procedures. They excessively dilated her cervix with 5 Dilapan S dilators. As she screamed in pain, they did not care. On the second day, they gave her excessive amounts of labor-inducing medications. 600 micrograms of misoprostol, which is used to start contractions. 30 units of Pitocin, which is used to induce labor. This is an excessive amount of labor-inducing drugs. The mother of my child knew nothing. The immense pain that she felt, she thought she was dying. They were monitoring her contractions. They told her, when you get to a level 10 pain, you tell us. She thought she was dying. They gave her the consent form for fetal organ harvesting on the second day when they already changed procedure. How did they know to change procedure for fetal organ harvesting on the first day if they gave her the consent form for fetal organ harvesting on the first day? They gave her the consent form feet away from the operating room when they were wheeling her into the operating room. They gave her the consent form when she was in labor. You cannot consent to something while you are in physical or mental distress. That is not consent. And the third thing, there is no date on the consent form. That consent form is void. So what they did to our family, what they did to the mother of my child, and what they did to our daughter is illegal. We're about to have a full HHS investigation with the help of David Delighted, the man who went undercover inside of the Planned Parenthoods and blew the whistle on fetal organ harvesting. With the help of my lawyer, I pray that we can enforce and pass Clementine's law to ban fetal organ harvesting and to ban fetal tissue experiments. These children are being sold overseas. These children are being experimented on overseas. Apparently, the Born Alive Infant Protection Act is supposed to protect children like this, was supposed to protect my daughter. But somehow, Clementine was still born alive and harvested for her organs. In order to harvest a child's organs, it is no different than when you harvest an adult's organs. You need to be alive. Your organs and tissue need to be viable. There needs to be a circulation of blood. You need to be alive. Clementine was alive. Clementine was a person. Clementine is a person. Clementine is an American. Clementine is a citizen of New Jersey. And I'm asking everyone here to please Remember Clementine and remember her mother. Please, fight loudly. Do as much as you can. Bring your friends. Contact your legislators. Contact your representatives. And explain to them that children are being born alive and harvested in the state of New Jersey. They are selling children in the state of New Jersey. And we should all care. This is our children, our neighbors, our fellow citizens. And nobody should be exploited. Nobody should be sold for profit. I pray, and I hope, and I am faithful that we will find Clementine, that we will stop the experiments on her, we will give her a funeral, and we will stop this from happening to other families.